Hello fencing fans, it's Tim from Perrett Fencing and Perrett Post Plate. I'm here today with one of our probably oldest users of our Perrett Post Plate. I think you brought it in the first year where we displayed it, and you came down and saw Dad's in our yards that summer. I think we advertised in the spring. James came down for a lovely summer holiday down to Ibiza, as we call it.
I left the wife and daughter in Taunton, I think. Oh, Tiverton.
Was it? Oh, you were
off
Devon?
early one
you
morning.
were maybe. Right. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, you went down Devon, not down Dorset, and called in and had a chat to Dad about our Perrett Post Plate. And I'm proud to say you brought one, and that was 2 to 3 years ago now. I'd have thought.
4, no?
4 years.
It'll be it'll be 4 years ago now that we were down in Devon, and then I think you had to wait for you to order it, to make it to order. So
yeah.
I think I had it. Yeah, mid-September, I think it came.
Time flies, doesn't it? So I think we'll just start with why you fancy buying one and kind of your background and why you thought it added up to add to this machinery.
Yeah, initially it was, like I used to run the standard plate, would come with a knocker, but I used to cut the spike off because I didn't like holes in the tops of the posts, especially since everything with CCA being banned and posts not lasting as long. It was more, we've got to do our bit to help as well, isn't it, Otherwise we're giving customers an excuse as to why things aren't lasting. So when I saw you launch the plate, I thought, that's good. I like that. That could be the answer, especially because we've got a lot of rocky ground here, like the video we've done here. This is probably the nicest ground I've ever been on in a long, long time. So I knew Tim was coming, so I thought I'd pick somewhere that I knew I wasn't going to have any disasters getting them in.
Thank you.
It was...
it doesn't solve the issue of hard ground.
No.
That's what I have to tell people when we sell them, that it will not solve hard ground, but it solves a few others.
So the post plates with me, I used to run 2 standard post plates. When one cracked, we'd pull it off and put the other one on while I welded the first one back up. I was doing that every probably 3 months. And then on top of that, usually twice a year, I would have that the mast on the knocker would crack down here and down there and pry itself apart. It's no fault of the knocker, they're brilliant knockers, but we get a lot of rock around here. You're trying to keep everything, you're trying to pull it back, and that was before I had an auger really. It was when I had the rock spike. And the shock that always goes through the knockers, and they take immense shock. It was just endless time, so you'd lose plates, so you'd lose a morning every 3 months re-welding the plate up. Every 6 months I'd lose a day because I'd have to bring the knocker back to the yard, grind out the back and the front here and re-weld the mast back on, hammer it and re-weld it. So that's 2 days a year, plus probably another 2 days in welding time on the plates. So that was 4 days a year I'd lose out. It all never happened when you wanted to. It always tended to happen mid-job.
Yeah, or right when you're trying to get to the end and finish it. Yeah.
I think I had like 3 hours left on one job, and the knocker was on the tractor, and I was 20 miles away. So to bring it all the way back to do it, then take it back to finish that. So for me, your plate was more just saving post stops initially.
That's why Dad invented it. Yeah. That's where it started.
That's why I ordered it. Since having it, saving post splits, it saves the post splits, but for me that's been the smallest advantage of it. Because since having it, I haven't cracked the mast once. And we say the plate itself hasn't cracked, so I haven't lost any dead time. So in 4 years now, I've had it now, that saved me 4 days a year, that saved me 16 days now of work.
Yeah. You multiply that by your day rate.
You'll work out what you take home after everything on your day. For me, it's paid for the plate. It's more than paid for the plate now. So when I first had it, a lot of boys asked me in the first year or two, because obviously the Perrett Post Plate costs more than the standard post plate. Yeah. Is it worth the extra cost? And what I did tell everyone for the first year or two was, time will tell.
Yeah, wait and see.
Not that I was dubious of it, but I did think it'd be too good to be true. How would it last up? Because at the end of the day, there's 200 pins in here, so there's 200 holes.
Yeah.
Would it fracture quicker or what? Or would the pin holes dissipate the shock?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was trying to think of it from an engineering point of view, and I just didn't know how I was going to react.
Yeah.
And I say, it's still here in one piece. The only thing I have done, I removed the 3 side pieces just to give me better visibility down the line. and also I can knock a post in next to an existing without anything in the way, and I can put the two same height, or I can even knock one down. I could knock another one next to this one down at that height. There's nothing to interfere to get in the way, and all the pins would allow me to push it up tight against something and carry on knocking.
Which is, yeah, I mean, that's interesting for me to find out that you've taken the guard kind of rails off around the bottom, because we kind of left them on. We felt that they should be there on very hard ground where the plate is bouncing. I mean, you shouldn't really bounce on a post. I think that's the first thing I should say. If you're bouncing, more than likely, I've seen posts that cauliflower under the ground. So you're just basically putting the arse through the tip and causing damage. But you know, we know that people treat them differently, and I have to say, being with James, he's owner operator, he really looks after his machinery and it serves him well, and that I can see that. But yeah, we have just left them on. And actually, James gave us the idea of making a stronger side guard, because you were the one.
Yeah,
the
when I
first.
had them, they were just welded underneath.
Yeah.
But now I mentioned I think they'd be stronger if you put them up on the side, overlapping.
Which is what we do now.
Get a weld in there and on
and
there.
I owe James some merch one day on all of this. So that's what we do from James's input. We do double weld them on the side so that the joints not the same.
Yeah.
To make them stronger, we leave it so people can cut out. So most of our operators, they'll cut out a gap here and a gap here, so they can sight through, but still have the reliability that if they're hitting something that's bouncing, that it will still keep it within. But it's really interesting that you've gone and taken them off, and actually, you know, perhaps I should do it with ours. Just get on with it and see how you go, because if you are bouncing, you're not really knocking any success.
For me, it was, if I left them on and I let the post drift out against that, I would be back to the same as I was with my current plate, so sending all the shock back through the frame, and could cause the cracking. Yes. What the pins do is, if the post wants to drift away from the post, it tells you. You get to see it, because the pins will vibrate in and the post will gradually move out. And that is, in a way, it's good, because that's the plate helping to tell you that the post wants to go somewhere you don't want it to go.
Yeah, normally you pull it off and it would ping.
Yes, if you had a pin through the top of it, especially on small ones, you pull it off and they ping, with me, the strainers ping. You don't see it, you see it happening before.
Inters it will hold for sure, definitely. But that's what we tend to do when we're knocking the two off the bottom. We pull it off just quickly, because it's easy to drop and knock. You just literally let the train round, pull it up, and you can see some movement for inters, but you're dead right on strainers, it will drift because of the forces.
You see the drift in this, so if it's starting to drift out, what I do is I just hook the plate up, put it back out and pull it back in. What I do is I pull it past where I want it, so I'm trying to thing it in the ground, and then carry on knocking and see what happens. If it drifts again, maybe try it once more. If I find the third time it's still drifting, then, well, I've just got a normal
chain,
strain right chain. I'm a bit of an animal. I will literally put it around the back of the mast and then around the post. With this big flat plate against the back of the post, which allows it to slide down the post. There are companies, Bush Pig and Holden Imports, both make a proper roller with chains. If I wasn't so tight, I'd buy one. I probably will buy one in time. But me, if I could make it myself, I do. That's what I do.
Definitely a bit of
which is why this old beast is still going. But so for me, if you've got posts that are straining away like that all the time, it's not the plate's fault. You need to find something else to hold them back, because what that plate's doing is it's a safety feature, I see, because it's stopping you putting too much force into the front channel on your knocker and stopping it wanting to possibly crack in the future and break away. That, for me, if it does drift, the post plate's actually telling you you need to do something else. Otherwise, if you carry on trying to use a post plate to pull it back, you're just putting shock back through a small area here, which could end up doing damage to your knocker in future. So for me, it's brilliant. That's helped. The other thing about it that I love, you can put the plate anywhere, the post anywhere in there, drop it, the plate's holding. Me, you've probably seen the video, I'm a bit slow and I'm dropping it down tight there. It's just habit, because the ground's so hard. I'm trying to keep the main stress points and the force as close to the mast as possible. You always want to try and knock in the middle close to the mast to stop any twisting on the plate as well. It's just over time you just think, you're always trying to think what's going to stop breakdowns in the future. So it's all about how you use the tool as well as what tool you've actually got.
Yeah, that's fair.
The other good thing I found with this, not related to keeping your post stops tidy, we get a lot of stones and boulders in the ground from doing post and rail. Your line has to go there. Your posts have to go that space in. There's a stone, there's an edge of a big riverbed bouldery stone in the ground. what are you going to do? The handy thing is with the rock spike, I find with this now, you swing the rock spike around, the top is in there, it's held. It can't drift around. It's not relying on just one pin to hold it, so it's still got movement. It's held firmly. You can just tilt, if you knock the spike into the ground a little bit and you've got a stone there, just tilt your mast back. You pivot in it from there and off this bit down here, and it'll allow you to push the stone out to the ground, out of the way. The same if you're knocking
Because you've got
posts,
2 points of contact on it,
and it's firm
still
up
strong.
here. It's not wandering up here. It's firm.
Yes.
The caps last longer.
Yeah, that's for sure. You've got to make sure you have good caps. That's one thing we always would tell operators.
I think I've put one cap on my 75mm rock spike. This is a 60mm. I think I've put one cap on the 75, but apart from that, I haven't done anything with it. I knock little breast blocks in next to your strainers, behind my struts usually, because with the rock we can't get deep. I could have gone deeper today probably, but it's just as it is for today. So I always put little breast blocks behind 5x3, same with the strainers. The joy is you can use an old length of 5x3 like this as something to send them in, and you can reuse it 50, 60 times.
Yeah.
If you were to try and do that with one with a spike in it, you'd end up butchering it and you go through lots. So yeah, some companies make a tool for knocking them in, brilliant. I'm just tight and I just use a 5x3 and because I've got this plate, it saves me having to get one of them. So it's like I've always been one to try and, if I see something that's out there, there's a few things out there, but if I could make it myself for my own use, I'd make it myself. And it was one thing when I saw the plate with you, I couldn't make that. You know, I could butcher together the Maruka and link these together and do it because it's just basic things. I could weld up some tool holders, I could weld up some other things, but I couldn't go and machine this. And people ask about the cost of it. Yes, it's something small, but there's a hell of a lot of engineering, heck of a lot of engineering in it, in all fairness. And the pins, your father gave me 33 pins when I first had it.
Yeah, that's
as replacements. I think there's still 20 or 22 of them in the cubby hole in the Jeep. I checked this morning. Yeah. I have bent pins, you know, thing. But what we do, especially in cryo, if I'm in a lot of cryo, after a few months of cryo, you might find a few pins will stay up because just the resin of the cryo, it's like tarry, it sticks in the thing and the pins will stick up. But you can carry on using it because that's all it is the point where you put the posts most in the same point. Just them pins are stayed up, but all the other pins are still down, so you can still carry on using it. Yeah. Because it's just, you're just putting them
in that similar hole.
But it's just, you know, you think, oh, now and again, we'll give it a clean, we'll give it a tidy. If you've got an hour spare, you just pull the two plates, the top plate off, chuck all the pins out, chuck a bit of WD-40 over it to loosen the tar, give it a pressure wash off, or just a scrape off, or a grime with a little wire brush, pop them back in, go. With me, I do get some bent pins because the way I try and use the rock spike to lever something out of the ground. Or maybe if you're doing patch and repairs and the farmer wants to stick your mast in the middle of a hedge and you've got some branches come down between the post and the plate, and you could get a bit of leaf or a bit of bark get up in there, sometimes that can cause a pin to stick a bit. If the pin sticks halfway and then you're on the rock spike, you could bend it a little bit, but literally while I've got them out, mold grips or little bullnose pliers holds the head of the pin, hammer, give them a couple of taps on top of an anvil, the old ones that I've got now, and they straighten up and they go back in. And that's all I do is I put them on the outside then, and 4 years, I say I've only put about 8 in there that have been a bit that I won't try and straighten them, they're a bit too much now.
So I think that's a brilliant result. I think you're one of our best operators. So thank you. The last thing I suppose that I think is important when we sell fencing to customers is actually you go and talk to them about not damaging the timber. And does that help you locally with your customers? If you're a couple of you quoting and you can be like, well, we're going to come with a machine that doesn't damage anything.
I don't tend to mention it when I'm quoting anymore. I did when I first had it because obviously you bought the plate and you just wanted to, in a way, brag a little bit about it. You had something no one else in the area had, which would give you an edge on them doing the job. But what I find is when the customers come out to see me on the job, and then they look at the posts and they go, oh, there's no holes. You know, it's like the norm now. They expect there's no holes. What are they? And you can see just where the dents from the pins have been. And then I show them the plate and I just go and I punch it up like that. See, I said you can't damage your post. You can hold it anywhere, but it can't damage. And then you tell them, I've done that for you. You know, I've got that because I want to take a bit of pride. I want the fence to last as long as it can for you. I've had it 4 years. It hasn't broken on me. and whereas I would have been re-welding my previous plate 4 times a year, in 4 years this hasn't broken me, and not only has it not broken, but it stopped the knocker breaking.
Yeah.
So that for me has been, it's justified its cost in the downtime it saved me on the way the setup was before.
Yeah.
The fact of damaged post tops is a bonus, but it's not just that, but it's the other little things it allows me to do. I can put posts in quicker and I can get them in awkward spots. I can use it for levering stuff out to the ground. The auger setup I've got, which is homemade and goes on, I didn't have to modify the plate. Clip-X, all the other options,
Metal
the steel
fencing,
options,
I think, is
they
really
can just
starting to
slot
catch
straight
on.
in there.
Yeah.
You haven't got to customise, you haven't got to worry anything. I won't lie, I've stuck galvanised gate posts under it before because you've been drilling out or you've been nearly there and you think, oh, the hole's not deep enough, we'll just tap it in the last couple of inches with this.
And it'll do
And it doesn't damage it, and it can, post and rail, it doesn't completely stop a twist, but it does help it a lot.
Yeah, that's fair.
But the funny thing is, it stops them twisting, but if you need to twist them back a bit, it will allow you to do that.
There's a bit of give on the pins, isn't there? So it's all about getting them set up straight, but you never know what you're going to hit a foot and a half down to see.
That's it.
But there are multiple benefits. I think that's what, from one simple idea of not pricking the top of posts to, the things that you've just mentioned. I think.
All fairness, credit where it's credit due. It's done everything I hoped it would do and more, and it's helped the knocker. The knocker gets a hammer in with the ground we're on, and she's still going. I say, you can look at the kit with me. I couldn't afford to go out and buy a new track post knocker, and then I got down our way in the meterage I can get up in a day. I could never justify it.
Yeah.
But I could.
You got the ultimate accessory.
I've been able to justify that. I can more than say, if I had another knocker, I'd be ordering one of them straight away for it. To be fair,
And actually, just reaching on that, we have slightly redesigned it, and we're gonna be at FenceX this October, I believe it is, and we're launching another model, or just an update really. And all we've changed, James, you're one of the first to find out here, is we've got better cutting technology on the plate. So where we had right angles here, we're now curving them off, and we're integrating that latch within the metal.
Right.
So it's a nice smooth curve with a curved bit here, and then our latching system's going within. So it's a bit nicer, a bit better for the postcard at the top as well. So we've got that a little bit stronger. But the fundamentals of the plate, the thickness of the metal, the welding and the joints that hasn't changed. It's just making it a bit stronger at the back of the plate here. So I'd just like to thank James, and just a quick promotion for your business. Where are you? What do you do?
We are down near Carmarthen in South Wales, Stockfencing contractors mainly. Do a little bit of equine, but it's mainly agricultural stock fencing we specialise in. We've got Hardox rock drills, we can drill through rock, we can fence nearly anywhere. This walks on water, almost, so we've got no issue with PT ground. And if we can help out, happy to help out.
We'll do all the links in this video. Contact James if you're down in West Wales and need a quality fencer that will look after the top of your posts and the rest of your fence. Then please call him.
And if you're interested in any fencing competitions down this way or a bit of a holiday in September, don't forget Fence for Frazer. Have a look at us, we'll get it set up on Facebook.
That's great. Right, thank you very much for your time today, James.
No worries, cheers, Tim.
Cheers.